Goblin Martin, and welcome to the first episode of Whites on Rice. Today we have a grocery haul from local northeastern Ohio Asian markets. As much as it pained me to abstain from eating all this stuff, I saved several items from my previous grocery trips to make sure that I had enough for today. We're going to be looking at snacks and beverages, mostly from Japan, but not all of them. In the future installments, however, I may break down the content and each episode in a number of different ways. So as not to pollute my palate with heavy-ass snack sludge, I'm just going to start with the drinks. This is one of my all-time favorites. You're going to find this in virtually any Asian market, anywhere. This is called Calpico. Calpico is delicious, and it's really strange. It's a Japanese product, and it's pretty much a mixture of milk and lemonade. This may sound like a really disgusting combination in the West, but I assure you it's not really as bad as it sounds. If you ever had a yogurt-based beverage, or you enjoy yogurt in general, you're probably going to enjoy this, because it is a slightly fermented dairy product. Unlike yogurt though, it's very thin, and it's really smooth, and there's no chunks. It's still slightly sour, and you can taste the lactobacillus going on, because this is a probiotic beverage. Calpico has existed here for over a century, and was inspired by the dairy products in Mongolia. If you go to shop for this, you may also find this under the name Calpis. Calpis is what it is called in Japan. It was changed for a Western audience. I'm thinking it's very likely because we have dirty minds and we would have just called it cow piss. Either way, it's freaking good. I'm drinking the standard flavor today, but this also comes in peach, strawberry, and lychee. Those are really delicious too, but I feel somewhat less unique, so if you are squeamish, you're going to want to start out with them and get a taste for it. You're going to taste the lemon a lot more than you're going to taste any kind of milk. If anything, it's really just lemonade with a smoother texture. That's kind of my opinion on it. But you should really go out and buy this. Oh. Next is another absolute favorite. This is Sangaria, strawberry milk drink. In the summertime, when I can find this at Young's, up the street, I drink a lot of this. I can drink this until I barf. Now when you drink it, you're going to notice that it's not exactly very thick like Western strawberry milks. You can't expect it to be like stuff like Nesquik. Now, there's not a whole lot of milk usually in drinks coming out of Asia. Asia has an issue with lactose intolerance. It is sort of bred into them, and it is very unfortunate because I love milk, so I can't really think of anybody not having milk. Now, you're going to see that there's strawberry juice is one of the main top ingredients. When you get into Asian snacks and drinks, you're going to run into a lot more natural flavoring agents than you will out here in the West. wonderful. This is another strawberry milk product. But this one is a tea that contains strawberry milk as sort of a creamer. This is my first time seeing or drinking this. This is called Assam strawberry milk tea. Well, it looks like a watered down cup of tea with a little bit of milk. It's not exactly what you're going to think of when you think of strawberry milk. I'm a little apprehensive to try this. That's quite odd, but in a really good way. You can taste the tea and you can taste the strawberry. I did not stop and read up on what Assam tea is. I'm assuming that Assam tea is a product of Taiwan and popular in Taiwan. I'm not as used to Taiwanese food as I am to other parts of Asia, but this is pretty freaking good. I'm gonna buy more of it. Now, since we're still on the topic of fruity stuff, this is salty lychee. Now, just an FYI, lychee is sometimes spelled Lychee. This is called lychee with an Litchi. Now, I've never known of any difference. These are both the same fruit. It's just a somewhat different spelling. Information on this product was limited to none, aside from the suggestion that the flavor combination is very much a Thai influence. Putting salt on fruit isn't as weird as you think. The salt makes the flavors really pop, and it's very refreshing on sweaty summer days. I've tasted similar combinations before, but never as a beverage. Yeah. Basically, if you ever go and you buy a can of lychees at the Asian market, there's going to be a lot of juice in it, just like all canned fruits. This tastes just like the juice in the bottom of the can, which happens to be my favorite part. But you can't really taste very much salt. I would recommend, if you're really into salty and sweet, you just add a little bit more salt. But this happens to be made from Okinawan sea salt. I don't really know where you're going to get Okinawan sea salt. I've never seen Okinawan sea salt when I've gone to markets. I'm sure it's something that you can go buy online. But either way, it's still pretty freaking good, just the way it is. Now, these next two, I'm really kind of pumped about. I'm crazy about matcha. Just about anything matcha flavored, but especially matcha with milk. To me, it kind of tastes like a swamp in milk, and it's delicious. This is Ito En matcha latte. I've never had this particular brand, but I always buy any brand of matcha latte no matter what. Even the Starbucks matcha latte, you can't go wrong with. It's not real matcha, but it tastes like it, and that's good enough. As far as matcha lattes go, this one is a little bitter. It says that the matcha is a bit of the ways down the list of ingredients. Mostly, it's water with a little bit of whole milk powder, but no actual milk itself. This is Craft Boss matcha latte. For the most part, all of this is in kanji. Normally, if you go to an Asian market, you're going to see a little white label with nutrition facts and ingredients that's over the Japanese nutrition facts and ingredients list. This one doesn't have that. There is a Google Translate option on most phones where you can look at the context of the item with your Google Lens app. This I didn't check for, but this is made by Suntory. Everything by Suntory Japan has always been good, so I'm assuming this is going to be good. I like the Suntory a little more than I like the Ito-En. They're both pretty delicious. Sometimes, unless you have an abundance of Asian markets near you though, you have to take what you can get. This is a huge bag of potato chips. So I'm going to get this one out of the way. Since it's an oddball, and I've never seen this in any Asian market near me, given the turnover of Asian market products, I might never see this again, so I figured I'd pick it up. This is called Caramucho. The name is a combination between the Japanese word for spice and the Spanish word for abundance. The company has been around since the 1980s and seems to have a very limited variety of flavors, always in the form of a potato chip or potato stick. There's chili peppers on this bag, but the woman is holding up a banner made of seaweed. I hardly taste any chili peppers in this, but you can really, really taste the seaweed. These are delicious. I really want to try the other flavors now, so I have to keep an eye out. Now, if you've been to any Asian market or any international market, you will find that Lay's potato chips makes different flavors to suit palates all over the world. There's a huge variety coming out of Asia. Now, Google was pretty useless about any information on Asian Lay's varieties aside from lists of flavors in the past, present, and projected future. It's just a saturated topic. I'll have to look into it a little deeper. But at any rate, I have had a few flavors and I love all of them. So here's a couple more. This is roasted garlic oyster flavor. And there's a picture of a beach on the bag. You're gonna think that this tastes like sand. I've never eaten oysters. I'm a little weird about fish. So I'm kind of scared. That's pretty strange. Like I said, I've never eaten oysters. I don't know what oysters taste like. These definitely taste like the oyster tank when you go to the Asian market and they have all kinds of live animals ready for purchase. Oh, that's not bad. I can taste the garlic more than I can taste anything. These are fried crab Lay's potato chips. Now, keep in mind, if you go to your local Asian grocer, some of these are going to be a bit pricier than you're normally used to for a bag of Lay's potato chips. As you can see, this is not a very big bag. This is the kind of bag that you're going to find at the gas station. It's going to be about gas station prices, but $1 more, maybe $1.50 more. It kind of depends on the variety. There's not very much of an odor. Other than being slightly fishy, there's not a whole lot of flavor that I can identify as unique to this bag. And I can't actually find any crab on the ingredients list. Oh, no, it's just fried crab seasoning. So who really knows? It's so tasty. These are the ones that I was really excited about. This is grilled squid flavor wavy Lays. As you can see from the bag, the waves on these Lays are a lot deeper than the Lays that we're using. Let's find a really big one and show you the difference. Now that is very deep compared to ours. When you have deeper ridges on a potato chip, there's always a lot more stuffed in there as far as the flavor is concerned. That's good. I have had other varieties of squid flavored Lay's potato chips from Asia. These particular ones I like a little better than the other ones. You can definitely taste the squid. I don't know what specific squid dish that these are fashioned after. However, the squid is quite pungent. And it's kind of sweet. As expensive as some of these are, I assure you it's worth that extra $1. Now, seeing as we're on squid, this is matsarang. Am I pronouncing that right? These are dried, spicy squid snacks. There was a glare, so I'm sorry. But if you go on Google, you're going to find these really easily. You're also going to find about 1 million other brands and varieties. I've been shopping at Asian grocery stores for about just under 20 years now. I always see squid jerky. I've always wanted to try it. I've always talked myself out of it. This runs to be about $5 for the weight. This does not cost as much as Western varieties of jerky. Over here, we make jerky out of chicken and beef and pork and all the staple meats you usually have access to in the West. In Asia, they make jerky out of just about anything that crawls or flies or swims, because why limit yourself? I've never had this before, but I'm going to try it. I'm a little scared about this because I'm a huge baby about eating fish. Some fish I'll eat piles of. Some I won't touch. So, no matter what my reaction to this is, don't take my word for it. Just go out and give it a try for yourself if you like any kind of jerky. And keep in mind, this isn't necessarily something that you just snack on. I know that people use these as an additive to their instant ramen noodles, and this is also an ingredient in all kinds of other wraps. This is shredded squid. There's vinegar, squid, sugar, lactose, vinegar, salt, and MSG. So it is basically squid and nothing but seasoning. It's not horrible. It has a texture, once you start chewing it, of just about any dried meat that you can expect. It doesn't have the texture that you would expect when eating something like calamari or squid sashimi. But I'm really surprised. I don't really know if I'm going to go out and buy more of it and start chowing down. But I would definitely buy it in cooking. And I would definitely try a flavor that's a little not quite so sweet and syrupy as this particular one is. So, these next two products, I couldn't find any info on these cookies. Now there's many varieties of these cookies by this particular brand called Royal Family. But there's no information any deeper than that. These are called mochi cookies. They come with chocolate chips and they're banana flavored. These are individually wrapped and they do not feel like mochi inside the package. It looks like your regular dollop of mochi. However, it doesn't feel like it at all. It feels more like a regular cookie. Oh, well, no wonder why. The mochi is in the center of the cookie. The outside has the texture more like a really, really cakey brownie. Oh, you can smell the chocolate and you can smell the banana. As you know, not everybody really digs artificial banana flavor. Some people feel that it reminds them too much of circus peanuts. But I happen to love circus peanuts, so I'm probably gonna like this. Yeah. It tastes like a cross between banana bread and a brownie. It's not terrible, but there is actual mochi on the inside of them, and it makes it really, really chewy. So, you're probably going to be going at one cookie for a little while. And you absolutely have to properly chew them and swallow them carefully, because sometimes mochi, being as glutinous as it is, it's been known to kill people who eat too much of it too fast and they can't get it all down and they wind up aspirating it and die. This is Regent Japanese cheesecake, product of the Philippines. I've never seen these before. The main ingredient of these is egg. Not even flour or sugar. These come individually wrapped. It almost looks like a really tiny little loaf of pound cake. I don't know what to expect because there's a picture of a wedge of Swiss cheese on the bag. I don't recall Asia using Swiss cheese very much. Usually they substitute with cream cheese or cheeses that have a higher fermentation process. It tends to kill the lactose sugars that make lactose intolerance possible. I think it's a protein. But I'm not very educated on that. Well, there's no cheese on the inside of it. There's no cheese on the outside of it. I don't taste cheese at all. It doesn't taste like cream cheese. It doesn't taste like Swiss cheese. It doesn't taste like nacho or cheddar. It's decent. If you really like pound cake, you might want to try it. But if you see it at your Asian market and it's a little too expensive, you might want to buy something else. That's kind of it for today. I'm all out of groceries. And I've spoiled my appetite for anything decent to eat today. So I'm probably just going to finish all these snacks. And then I'll need a toilet and a nap. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share and click that little bell icon at the bottom. I don't know what that bell is, but I'm told that is very important. If anything in this presentation was inaccurate or complete, or you're an Asian viewer who wants to correct a bad pronunciation, dump that feedback in the comments below.